Hi, Kansas Bushman here again. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Timber Rattler Outlaw Bowie knife. I ordered this from Bud K about 3 weeks ago and received it yesterday, and it was on back order, so that's why the 3-week delay. It cost me $19.99 and then another $8 for shipping, which isn't all that bad. I can deal with that. So about $28 total. The reason why I'm making the review is, even though it is an awesome knife, I mean, everybody on YouTube and Bud K and anywhere where you can write a review about this knife says that it is amazing, and I completely and totally agree, all except for a few flaws that I've noticed in the sheath itself and the knife. And I'm going to point those out here in a minute. But first, let's talk some specs. The first thing that you're going to notice when you get it out of its box and you're taking it out of its sheath for the first time is how incredibly large it is. This is a beast of a knife, let me tell you. That is one big knife right there. I'll tell you what. It's hard to get it centered up in the shot to where the whole knife is shown, as a matter of fact. A few details about the knife before we really get into anything else. It has an 11 3/4 inch blade, 16 3/4 inches overall. It says surgical stainless steel right there. Just above that you have the model number, I believe it is TR65. You have a 4-inch blood groove right there. Standard clip point that you see on most all Bowie knives nowadays. As for the handle, we have a pack of wood inlay handle, solid brass bolsters, handguard, and pommel, and it is full tang. As you can see on top and bottom, they really wanted you to know that, which is something I can appreciate. And the knife's weight is about 3 pounds, so it's a good heavy-duty bulky knife, and that is exactly how a Bowie knife should be. That's perfect. That's the definition of a solid knife. For the overview of the sheath, and then I'm going to say the pros and cons about it. It is a genuine leather sheath. It is stamped Timber Rattler right there into the leather. I make my own leather sheaths out of tooling leather, and I've been doing this for a while. I've made several sheaths for some of my other knives in my collection. And the first flaw that I've noticed is this leather is just incredibly thin. That's strike number one right there. This is a 3-pound knife. I mean, when you're dealing with this thing, you need to take it seriously, because if this sheath were to come apart for some reason and to fall, you really need to be careful, because this thing could do some serious damage if it fell on like your foot or something else. So first strike is very thin leather. Okay. Strike number two, poor stitching. I barely had this thing a day, and I noticed, well, my dad noticed this, the leather is starting to come apart. The back piece of leather is starting to come apart from the spacer piece of leather right there. And that is a result of poor stitching, and the reason why it came apart is because the material broke on me. So obviously poor stitching material there as well. Strike number three is, it is riveted on there, but when you look on the inside of the sheath, they're very flimsy. I believe they call these butterfly rivets. I don't even know what the heck these are. Anyway, they just look flimsy, and they don't look like they're going to hold up. So really, in the long run, this isn't going to be very good. And this is what attaches to your belt. It holds the belt loop and the strap onto the sheath itself. Other than that, I can't find anything wrong with it. It is genuine leather after all. The snap is very sturdy. I mean, it snaps in place. You know it's going to hold on to it. It's not going to come undone when you don't want it to. The strap for the snap is very thick as well. I mean, as you can see, it's way thick. It's actually thicker than the main part of the sheath itself, in fact. So really what I would suggest if you're going to buy this knife is, if you want to carry this thing around in the sheath that it comes in for a while and just see how it goes, be my guest. But really, for the long run, I would suggest if you work with leather, just go ahead and make yourself a more solid sheath out of some thicker tooling leather, or take the time and money and invest in a custom sheath. And that's pretty much it for the sheath. There's nothing really else to say about it. Let's move on to the knife itself. There is one minor flaw before I get to the major flaw in the blade. Right there it says Pakistan. Most people have a problem with foreign knives, as do I, because it's supporting a foreign economy to get things that we need, when really we should be investing in our own economy. So that's a problem, but that's minor. The main problem is when I unpackaged this thing and had a good look at it and tried to cut with it, the first thing I noticed was the edge was beveled way too thick. I mean, literally, this thing was blunt when I got it. So what I had to do was, as I stood it up on end like this, and I just took a large standard file and I adjusted the file on the edge to where it was almost like the edge on a buck 110 style knife. That's what I modeled it after I got my buck knife out and saw approximately what angle the edge was set at, and I got the file set up against the edge as close to that as I possibly could. And then taking maybe 2-3 inch strokes, just going like this up and down the whole edge very carefully, very slowly. I'm talking being uber careful with this thing. And I went up and down each side of the blade about 3 or 4 times. I forget how many right now, but each side 3 or 4 times, and it took me about 25 minutes, and I effectively narrowed this edge down to where it will still hold its edge over a long period of time, and it's still going to cut things well. It's not too thin to where it will chip out, and it's not too blunt that it won't cut. Before and after, as far as the cutting abilities go, before, when it was too blunt, I took a piece of jute twine, cut a strip about yay long, and I was holding on to it, and I had to saw to get the knife edge through the jute twine. That is never supposed to happen. A good knife that has a solid edge on it that you can count on, it's going to go right through that jute twine, because jute twine isn't all that strong to begin with. After that, it just cuts like a dream. It just melts through things like a hot knife through butter. I have no complaints. So that is the fix for the edge. I mean, it's going to come very blunt, but what I would suggest that you do in reality is take it to a bladesmith or somebody that works with steel and have them file it down. The only reason why I did it is because I've filed down the edges, the edges on several other knives before and had success, and it was just, I was uber careful with this. Took my time. It took me about 25 minutes, like I said, to do this because I was being so careful, but if you think you can do it and you got a file and some time, just go up and down the edge just very gently, very slowly, and reset that edge. Another thing I would suggest if you're going to do it yourself is have a knife that you think is really, really sharp. Take a look at its edge and then modify the edge on this knife after that one. And just good luck with it. That's it for the knife. Other than the edge flaw and the fact that the knife was made, at least partially, I know of in Pakistan, it's a very sturdy knife. This is not a review that's bashing Timber Rattler or Bud K. This is an absolutely wonderful knife. It's by far one of my favorite knives ever. For taking it out in the bush and doing some hunting, maybe some skinning with it, it will do that just fine. Looks good on your hip. If this was your only weapon in a fight, it will scare the crap out of your assailant, I personally guarantee you. And it's just a wonderful knife. I would suggest it to anybody. So if you're going to buy this knife, I would say go for it. Just be wary of the problems with the sheath, and really take the time and work on that edge if you're going to do some serious bushwhacking. So anyway, that's it. Feel free to leave a comment, and if you have any questions about what I did to the knife edge, just tell me you're going to do it yourself, and have any questions about what I used, or anything at all, just feel free to inbox me or comment, and I will help you out as much as I can. So have a good day. Take it easy.